Indy Mogul.
You'd think Matthew McConaughey's car of choice would be a convertible, seeing as how it's topless. You're watching Beyond the Trailers review of The Lincoln Lawyer.
Hey, Mick, I got something really big for you.
What's the name?
Louis Roulet.
Louis Roulet?
This whole thing is a setup. I made a mistake with that woman, and she was setting me up.
Down. You didn't strike Miss Campo with your left fist.
No.
Threatened to kill her.
No, I am not that guy.
I don't know, Mick. This kid feels wrong to me.
Are you sure there's not anything that you're not telling me?
Nothing.
While on the surface this might seem more like a hot new TV show rather than a feature film, there must be something here to attract such a top-notch cast. Backing up pretty boys McConaughey and Ryan Phillippe are highly respected actors Marisa Tomei, William H. Macy, Bryan Cranston, and John Leguizamo. As for the source material, The Lincoln Lawyer is actually based on the first book of the Mickey Haller series from mega successful crime writer Michael Connelly. Even Bill Clinton is a fan. But on the flip side, the director is newbie Brad Furman, whose directorial debut back in 2007 was a similarly themed procedural starring Leguizamo, which flopped at the box office. And the screenwriter who's adapting Connelly's novel here is veteran TV writer John Romano. Yes, here we are, back at TV. So what makes The Lincoln Lawyer worthy of the big screen? Let's go find out. The BTT Crew review is back, and today we saw Lincoln Lawyer. And the first thought I had when I was watching the credits for this film is, wasn't the Lincoln discontinued? I believe that they're, a dying breed. Their days are numbered. But the car is old school cool, and this movie was old school cool.
When I watched the trailer, I thought it was really cheesy. It looked really cheesy, and I sort of had no idea what it was going to be about. But I really enjoyed the movie. It surprised me.
I think this is the only time that I've ever heard anyone cheer on a lawyer, because there was one part where the whole theater was clapping, and these are the same people that are out on the street saying, no, all lawyers are bad, they're after their money, but he really did play the part well enough where that wasn't the case.
I think this is the best Matthew McConaughey has ever been. And his Texas drawl and charm all worked really well here, and he was a great movie lawyer.
I'm really used to seeing Matthew McConaughey in romantic comedies, and I'm not really a fan of romantic comedies. So this was a new and different role for him, and I think he played it really well. I think he should start playing more roles like this in the future. In the open, I talked about how this seemed like a TV movie and what made it worthy of theaters. And I guess after seeing it, my response would be, it is a little bit like a TV movie, but it's so good, it's worth being on the big screen.
I think that was the best Law and Order episode I've ever seen.
I really enjoyed watching the relationship between Matthew McConaughey's character and Marisa Tomei's character. They were divorced, and I thought they had a really interesting on-screen chemistry.
I feel really bad for Ryan Phillippe that this is kind of the role he's become stuck in, the baby-faced jerk. So that really must eat away at him, and especially because I know he's upset about Reese Witherspoon's success versus his not having a success, so this must just be insult to injury.
It was very suspenseful. It really kept you guessing because I don't really want to give it away, but there was multiple crimes going on at the same time. So they really did a nice job of weaving them all together and then tying it up at the end.
This movie was incredibly suspenseful. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I had to go to the bathroom twice, and I was really upset that I had to go to the bathroom because I didn't want to leave the movie.
Since I see a lot of movies, I'm pretty good at telling what's going to happen and catching twists in advance. That didn't happen here. This movie, hats off to Michael Connelly. He wrote a very good thriller where I was surprised. I didn't see stuff coming, and he had good twists that I hadn't seen before. It wasn't like, oh, that's like this movie and like this movie. It was unique. It was original.
From the opening credits, it was really kind of hard to tell where the movie was going to be set because they seemed like a 60s or 70s, a little bit retro, but then once we got into the movie, it was clear that it was modern. But there were still things that kind of tripped me up a little bit. The courtroom scene, I thought that was straight out of a 70s movie. If they weren't using cell phones, I don't think I'd be able to put a time on it.
If I had to say I had one problem, it's that the movie had several endings. You'd be like, oh, okay, it's over, yay. Oh, no, it's not over. And then they keep faking you out. So, and some of them were a little too convenient.
If I had one complaint about it, it would be that there were tons of cheesy one-liners, and the dialogue was a little thick, it was a bit cheesy at some points. Would someone really ever say that? I don't think that they would. But I thought that made it kind of funny, not on purpose. But
So bottom line, I think, this movie's worth seeing for pretty much Matthew McConaughey alone. He does such a good job. It is so charismatic, and plays such a great lawyer that bravo, McConaughey, and with your shirt on. Very nicely done.
On a 1 to 10, I would probably give it about a 7.
On a 1 to 10, I would give this movie a 9.
I would give it an 8.5 out of 10.
So we give The Lincoln Lawyer an 8. What did you think? Write your thoughts down below, and we're out here every week covering all the major releases, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm Grace Randolph from AMC Empire 25, and I hope you'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.